Hello, everybody. My name is Kyler Ritchie, and I will be speaking about the political influences and corruption in South Korea. A lot of people may think those go hand in hand, but for the sake of this presentation, I'm going to keep them separate. So let's get started. Political influence. Obviously, South Korea has close ties to China since it's so close. Geographically. North Korea as well shares a border with North Korea. Japan is another political influence that affects our relations with the country, is their relationship as well, and obviously the United States relationship. Now, the United States and China, South Korea is currently in good standing with. Japan and South Korea, their relations are a little bit tense, I guess you could say. Now Japan is a neighbor; they're just across the ocean, and you would think that would make them pretty close economies that got along pretty well. In some cases, not, but in this case, yeah, they do have a lot of disputes. A lot of them were over land decades ago, but the tension continues today. However, they are getting along pretty well right now, and so that's something. Because it is an ally of ours, it does affect our relationship with South Korea. So that's definitely good to know. Good to keep an eye on. That is their relationship with Japan. That is a good relationship right now. They also have a very good relationship with China. They trade a lot with them. They are influenced by them, and that's something that can affect our relationship with South Korea as well. Simply because the United States and China don't always see eye to eye. But for now, it hasn't really affected our relationship with South Korea. But it could become something in the future that it could be hard for South Korea to balance, is the relationships with those two countries. And that kind of leaves us with one other country to talk about, and that's North Korea. Now, North Korea has threatened invasion, I'm sure, countless times, threatened war. And it's just not a good relationship between the two countries. Now, the joint mistrust of North Korea has kind of brought the U.S. and South Korea closer. Both countries don't like North Korea. The United States would like to keep an eye on North Korea, obviously. What's the best way to do that? Either through China or South Korea. And so South Korea has really become a way for us to keep an eye on North Korea and keep a military presence close to North Korea. And so because of this relationship between us and South Korea, it strengthens our relationship even further. Now, another reason that South Korea may rely on us is North Korea's attempt to develop nuclear weapons. A concept that prevents nuclear war would be mutually assured destruction, and that's basically if you nuke me, I'll nuke you back, and we're both going to be dead. And it kind of deters nuclear war. With South Korea not having built-up military, they do rely on the United States kind of backing them up in any disputes, especially with North Korea. And so, with the United States being able to back South Korea, it kind of deters North Korea from doing anything too crazy, I guess you could say. And so that builds our bond even stronger with South Korea. Another thing I didn't note was they are also the 12th largest economy in the world, and their relationship with South Korea is a big one, and it's very important. That being said, I'll talk to you guys a little bit about tariffs as well, and what they are. Governments often pass tariffs to protect domestic industries. Basically, they'll tax imports from other countries, so it's more expensive for us to sell them, and their consumers, it's more expensive for their consumers to buy them, and so they don't buy as much. Now, nations can agree to a free trade agreement, which reduces or eliminates tariffs between two countries. Now, the free trade agreements are good because it opens up another economy for us to sell in. but it also opens us up to competitors as well. But overall, it's usually a good thing. It can provide a boost to an economy. Now, the United States and South Korea do have a trade agreement, and this trade agreement has led to 80% of all exports being tariff-free, thanks to the U.S.-South Korea trade agreement. This means that U.S. manufacturers have access to South Korean customers and can sell their goods without additional taxation from the Korean government. Now it also opens up companies like Samsung and Hyundai Kia to come into our country and sell their products, which, you know, it takes away from our company's ability to sell, you know, domestically. And so it's kind of, you know, it's a double-edged sword, but definitely it's usually a boost to the economy. And so that has helped in our relationship. Now, looking at corruption, we're going to kind of transition into corruption in South Korea. They currently rank 43rd out of 175 countries in perceived corruption index, and they scored a 55 out of 100. It's a 0 to 100 scale. 0 being absolutely corrupt, 100 being, you know, saintly, I guess you could say. And they scored a 55 on that, which also indicates better than average corruption ranking. Now, their bribe payers index scores them at 7.9 out of 10, with the higher the score being less likely that they attempt to bribe internationally. Now, this offers us some insight as into their business practices, that they don't bribe, and that tells us that they view bribery as unethical and something that they should not do. And so that tells us that attempting to bribe officials or corporations in South Korea probably won't be looked upon as an accepted practice, and it's something you should probably stay away from. And, you know, countries like Mexico, they can kind of get away with it. People get away with it there, and it's not looked down upon as much. But with South Korea, it's definitely a business practice you should avoid. And so that's going to be about it. I'm going to transition to the end of our presentation. All right, thank you.